There are a number of stores like this in downtown Juneau that sell artwork. Those of us considering buying something may wander past drawings or carvings or pottery before we find something that attracts our attention. Hello, I'm Scott Foster, and welcome again to Rain Country. Hundreds of hours are expended before any of these items are put on the store shelf. And while there's a similarity in the creative process, there is an added pressure for those who earn their living by their own hand.
Well, I used to make pots as a hobby, and the more you do it, the more pots you have, and all of a sudden you're inundated with pots. And so what you have to do is you have to go out and sell them. And then all of a sudden you're in business and you're no longer a hobbyist. Most of the larger things that I make are made on a wheel. And, you know, the wheel spins around and you use the centrifugal force to get the clay to rise. And you have to have your wet fingers in order for the clay to stay lubricated and keep spinning. If the clay isn't wet, then it drags, and you really can't accomplish what you're hoping to accomplish. You score the side of the cup so that with a rough surface, and put a little slip or a little water on the scored portion of the surface, and it makes the handle less inclined to fall off after it's finished. Then you wait a couple days till it's dry in what's called the leather hard stage, and you turn it over, trim it, smooth out the bottom, and then you let it dry, and then you fire it. The first firing is called a bisque firing. It's to a relatively low temperature. And then after the first firing, then you glaze the pot, and that's where you dunk it in the garbage cans that I have there, full of glaze. And you fire it a second time, and then it comes out looking like a glossy, finished product.
Upstairs, above his basement factory, Tom Meyer lives among his pots.
This is a cup I made for the triangle, my favorite watering hole. Has a picture of the triangle. There's Elvis Presley giving a look of the eye. Everybody else is sitting there drinking, eating hot dogs. It was a miner. And you can see a bear walking by the window. And it's what you see when you sit in the triangle and look out the window, watch people. This is an ashtray made from a commercial mold. Mrs. Cap out in Lemon Creek sold me the mold, and she said this was her favorite ashtray. And I looked at it and said, didn't she know that young women today don't approve of this sort of thing? And she looked at me and gave me a disdainful look. So I bought the mold. It's the only nice piece of artwork you'll find in this house. Provocative is what I would call it. Well, these are my lidded steins. People buy and sell new and used old steins. They join our organizations, and they have the organizations have newsletters that come out, and I see them, and it's shocking what people pay for a regimental stein from Germany in 1913. A stein like this has a mold to make the handle, and a separate mold to make the body, and it takes about an hour and a half. Pour the slip in the mold, it sets up in an hour, and another half hour or 45 minutes, it's dry enough so you can extract the stein from the mold. And this particular mold had 5 pieces, and so you had to unhook it and gently take the mold out, and then you separate the pieces for the handle mold and stick them together, let them dry, fire it, glaze it, fire it a second time, and then you put the picture on, which I screen print myself, and fire it a third time. So 3 firings, and that probably takes 2 weeks.
Tom markets his pots at various stores around Juneau and at an art co-op where he works 1 day a week.
I probably spend, at the very, very most, 2 or 3% of my time marketing my ware. I think I'd be more successful if I spent more. But it's more fun to make pots than it is to sell pots. The reason you sell pots is because there's too many laying around the house and you don't have any money.
Although Tom's been making pots for the last 15 to 20 years, he came to Alaska with a doctorate degree in forestry.
Yeah, I went to college for a while, and I found that the kinds of jobs that the college education made it possible for me to get weren't satisfying. I mean, you sit by the wheel and you work with the clay, and when you're done, you see something that you just made. Obviously, there's some results.
But Tom can never be sure how people react to the results. For instance,
there are people who see that it's handmade and they'll automatically say, "Oh, it's beautiful," because that's what you say when you see. That's what you say when you see something handmade, and you know, that wears you out. And then there are the people who look at it and automatically don't like it for reasons that are obscure to me. And basically what they're saying is that the mass-produced ware is more uniform and therefore better, I guess, and I empathize with that. In some ways I agree with them.
While Tom could be making better money working in forestry or another field, he has few regrets about choosing to be a potter.
You know, the first of the month comes around, you don't have any money, so you run around and you goad everybody and try and get them to pay in, and they pay in, and then you just make it to the bank in time, and then you take the money from the bank and you give it to the mortgage company, and all of a sudden you're on Easy Street again, and it's the 15th. And sometimes, you know, after you've missed your first mortgage payment, it's easy to miss the second one.
Does Tom have any guidance for others who seek suitable careers?
I don't have any advice for anybody. If they're smart, they won't take advice. That's my advice.